Hello and welcome back to the channel. Here we are back in the workshop. A few items around as I've had quite a few things to attend to this week. Now you may remember I've been looking for my Super 4 turntable lately and I'm still unable to find it. But what I have found are these three boxes of interesting items. So I think we're going to do something slightly different this week and see what we can do with all this stuff. Okay, so this box consists mainly of metal track curves and straights. This box contains various items of rolling stock. Open wagon, lumber wagon, several other. And here a locomotive, so I've got some oil, little funnel, locomotive, another layer. Ooh, decent spider there. Nasty, arachnid action. I wonder where he is. Alright, just get that out. No sign. Best not to look. Right, so two locomotives, a couple of accessories, rolling stock and track. So I think this would be a great opportunity to set this all up and see what we can get going. You might now recognise this as Mamod. They make excellent steam models, traction engines, steamrollers, stationary engines, vehicles, and this is their garden or outside railway. So we've got a couple of locomotives. Now one thing, I do not have any Mamod solid fuel, but I have got some camping stove pellets and I bet they're similar, so if I can cut them up we can probably use them. So I think the best thing to do first is to get this stuff all outside in the daylight, see about what we can make with these track sections. I'm sure we can get quite a sizable loop or oval or something, and then see about getting it all going. So bear with me while I gather it all up, and I'll see you outside shortly. Okay, I've brought all the stuff onto these slabs. I've also found the camping fuel. There, it's gone a little bit crystallising on the outside of the box. I don't know whether that's going to affect how it works. Got a kettle here because obviously if we put really warm water into the boiler initially, we won't waste so much of our fuel warming it up. And then of course the other items. Now the track, it's quite interesting how this fits together. It's very easy. It just hold it at that angle and then little clips and it just clips together. So no fish plates, just hooks. Right, well I think what I'll do now is I'll get some track on the ground and then we'll see how it looks in a minute. Right, well I've nearly got all the sections of track down, not all of them, but a good selection out of the box. So I'll just get these last two in. Right, well I'm fairly happy with that. That's a good run, I think. Just this piece of track here is quite interesting. I don't know whether it's picking up on the camera, but I notice it's very rough. imperfections in the casting, so there are one or two like that, so I've picked out the best, because I think, I mean, it's pretty undulating. That could cause a derailment. No good. So now we've got the track set up, I think we'll start taking a look at one of the locos. Well, here we have the loco that we'll try first. I've looked at both of them and the other one hasn't actually been fired, so we'll leave that for now. So here's the little tray for the solid fuel. There is a sight glass in there. It's a little bit obscured, but I think it'll probably be okay once we get some water in. Whistle, pull whistle there, and most importantly the safety valve. Now just got to make sure that that's not sticking at all. Now it's perfectly free, so I'm just going to give it a jolly good rotation, and I'm actually going to put a small amount of oil just to make sure there's no possibility of it sticking. Now that's where we're going to put the hot water in a minute. Now here is some camping fuel. Now as you can see, the box looks a little bit worse for wear. Now I will be washing my hands after I handle this. Let's see what's happened. Obviously slightly leaked. Feels really strange. Not particularly nice, so I'm not going to handle it too much. So I'm going to cut up one of those, pop it in there, give it a little bit of an oiling, pop some boiled water into the boiler and see what happens. So just give me a minute to go and wash my hands, and then we'll get this thing oiled, fueled up and on the track for a test. I've got some boiling water in the kettle. I've given the loco a little bit of a lube, but I'll just do the bearings again. Connecting rods. A little bit down there. All seems pretty free. Right, so let's get some water in. So here's the little funnel. Let's see whether we can see anything on the sight glass. Now I don't know whether I'm going to be able to show you this because the sun is quite bright, but I'll gradually put some water in. Yeah, I can just see it on the sight glass now. It's quite difficult to see, but it's definitely going up and down, so get it up to the maximum mark. Now I guess it could probably do with descaling in there, but at least I can see the water level, so I'm happy with that. Safety valve, double check again, screw that back in, and now let's see how we get on with this old fuel. So what I'm going to do is just attempt to split this pack. And see if I can break these pellets in half. Oh, ultra crumbly it seems. So I'll put one. I'm sure I can do that neater next time, but we'll put one piece in there. Another in there. And just tidy that a bit. Leave it all out the way and see whether it will light. I seem to be having a bit of trouble with my gas match. Here we are again. I think a certain member of the household who likes to decorate her bedroom with candles and night lights has exhausted that, so I've got another. Very difficult to tell whether this stuff's actually a light. I think it is. Definitely some flames there. Right, let's get this under the boiler. Okay, it's had a minute or two now, so I'm going to attempt to open the regulator slightly and see whether there's any chance that it's ready to go. Oh, a little bit of movement now. I haven't got anything on the back of this yet, so I don't want it to go too fast. It does look like it wants to tear away. Right, well there's one circuit, so I think now we'll get some wagons on. So off camera I've just topped up the water, attached a few wagons, put some more fuel in, and we'll get steam up again. Apologies for the shaky camera. I think she's nearly ready. Just one more minute to build up steam. Let's try again. As you can see now, it's pulling this rake of wagons quite nicely. I've got the regulator set quite low. One thing I would say about these models is they are not speed limited. So if you do open the regulator right up, it's a bit like a steam dragster. So as you can see, it's going really nicely. Now these slabs are a little bit rough, but the undulations don't seem to play up with the track. Let's just open the regulator a fraction more. Set it off again. You see now this is approaching dangerous speed for these curves. Running nicely though. Now I don't know whether these pellets are very old, so I don't think they're burning for very long. But as we watch it go around now, I think we're going to fire up the other engine and finish off today's running session with a bit of double heading. So I'll just let you enjoy this going around for a little bit longer. And then I think we'll come back with a little bit of double heading on the steam. Okay, so off camera I've just devised a way of cutting this fuel up better using a serrated knife. So that works quite well. I don't know whether you can see our friend the spider has in fact departed and run away safely into the garden, but he's been spinning webs in this new engine. But no cobwebs in there. I've given it a good oiling, just about to put water in the boiler. Top this one up. It's just above minimum in there at the moment. Before I put the fuel in, I just thought I'd show you the difference between the sight glass in the unfired engine, which is a lot cleaner. You can see that water moving. And you can actually see the water in the other one now, so it's slightly cleaner. Anyway, let's get the fuel lit and get these on the track. Right, here we are, all connected to the wagons, and the fires are burning nicely now. Bit of steam in both engines, so time to open up both regulators slightly and see how we go. Just balance these regulators. I think we're nearly there. Number 4 in front, followed by number 5. Here we go.